for stopping by the Obviously Authentic channel. My name's Leah, and that's spelled Lea and not Leah. So let's get into this recap, review, discussion of episode 2 of Hilda. And the title is Chapter 2, The Draugens. Now, I have been struggling with saying that word, so I'm going to just call the Draugens sea ghosts. So we get the gist, so I'm not like fumbling over words. So the episode opens up, and Hilda is basically arguing with a construction worker who has a nasty attitude. She's just being rude. And so Hilda's like trying to understand, like, hey, like, why are y'all doing construction? And she basically is like, because Eric and Greta, the safety patrol, is like, yo, like filling these Vitra tunnels that last episode, in episode 1, that they found that Hilda got Eric in so they could get away from the trolls that they were being chased by. So now Eric is like, yo, we about to fill up all these tunnels. So then Hilda poses a question like, but what about the Vitra? Because this is their home. Like, the tunnel, they made those tunnels. And she's kind of like, it is what it is. And I was like, see, that makes me feel like Eric has like a vendetta, or like, yeah, a vendetta against the creatures, or the not so normal creatures of their world. Like, if you know that they've been doing this underneath the city for years, why all of a sudden are you trying to like close up their tunnels? Why all of a sudden are you trying to fortify the barriers? Like, are you about to do something you have no business to doing, and you're trying to keep yourself safe inside the city? Or are you trying to keep people inside for some sinister plan we don't know nothing about? But basically, like, Eric doing too much. But this scene gave my favorite scene was like the Vitra beating up on one of the construction workers. Like, they was beating his ass, because they was like, you're not about to fill our homes, our tunnels. And you just hear one say, get them, boys. And they just popping him in the face. And I'm like, yo, I dig it. I love it. So on her way, Hilda and Twig are just walking through the city, and she sees a poster of Eric, and she gets the idea of like, you know what? I want dirt on him, because there's something about him that's not right. And so she's like, let's go see the Rat King. So they go to the sewer to see the Rat King. And if you don't know who the Rat King is, it's basically like this being of rats that form into one rat. And I think the design for him is cool, because it's not like the rats form a person or a creature. They do form a creature, but it's basically all the rats in unison speaking at once. So basically the Rat King is basically like, if you want dirt, because, you know, rats go anywhere throughout the whole entire city, I need a trade-off. So he's like, go to the Sea Maiden, which is like this bar by the port, or by the harbor that all the sailors go. And he was like, get me a dumpster cod sandwich. So she's like, okay, all I gotta get you is this nasty fish sandwich. I got you. So she's going to the Sea Maiden, to the little restaurant. And when she gets in there, she sees the Woodman. Now, I'm about to say some things, and for those of you who be standing the Woodman stand on, but I don't like the Woodman. Something about the Woodman is very unsettling, and it might be the character design, because he doesn't have any eyes, and that kind of weirds me out. But it's also because the Woodman is chaotic neutral. The Woodman is neither good nor evil. He's just selfish. And he only does things for himself. Like, if it's something evil but it benefits him, he's all here for it. But if it's something good and it benefits him, he's all good. Like last season, he purposely lost Hilda to a giant, so he could steal from him. So I'm just like, anybody that would put somebody in harm's way just so they could steal, or to make it easier for them to steal, there's something wrong with them. But basically, Hilda sees the Woodman at the actual restaurant. The Woodman and Hilda like are conversating, because she's like, what are you doing here? Well, while they're talking, the Woodman actually wins this game called Sea Bones. And one of the sailors is like freaking out. So I guess he's the one that lost, and he's crying. And the Woodman's like, okay, I'm good. Let me get my change. Kind of like me. I've been gambling like Once I win some money, I'm good. Like, I don't have to win large sums of money. I don't want to lose a lot of money, but like if I win a little couple of, a little coin, like $50, okay, I'm good. There's no need for us to keep going and then I lose my 50. And that's kind of what the woodman, he was like, well, I won what I wanted to win and I'm good. And the sailors are like, I guess it's uncustomary or it's not customary for you to like leave a game of sea bones when you win. And Hilda stands up and is like, well, he won fair and square. He didn't cheat, so why does he have to continue to play? And they basically are like, if you quit, you can't come back up in this restaurant no more, and you can't play sea bones with us. And I'm like, that's a stupid ultimatum. Because he got what he wanted. So I'd have been like, okay, bro, like, I don't got to come back in here. I got what I want. So they throw him out. They throw him in the dumpster. Hilda ends up finding a nasty cod sandwich in there. And she gets out the dumpsters and she's talking to the woodman and is like, why are you here? Like, and he brings up the Draugen. Like I said in the beginning, we're going to call the Draugen the sea ghosts. Because that's basically what they are. They're basically ghosts of people that have drowned or died at sea who are doomed to roam the sea, who aren't allowed to be reunited with their families anymore, basically. So Hilda automatically assumes, and I guess this is where her age plays a factor, because the woodman is for self, Hilda. I don't understand why she just automatically assumed that the woodman was trying to help the Drogans, and he didn't say he wanted to help them. He just said, look, I'm looking for him, so like, what's up? So she's like, oh, I want to come and help. So as they're going, you see what he wants. So finally we understand why that one guy, one of the fishermen, was freaking out. It's because the stupid man betted his boat. I said, why would you bet your boat in a game? Like your livelihood in a game. So the woodman wins this guy's boat and they go off into sea. And I think it kind of foreshadows, although it's like a really pretty scene, we see like the sea lions in the water. But I think it showcases like how far Hilda is willing to go without her mom knowing, if that makes sense. Because it kind of like, I was waiting for her to like say something like, oh, mom isn't going to like this or something, or we can't tell mom. Because it's like, girl, you're a 10-year-old. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Hilda's like 11 or 12. But you're a child getting on a boat with the woodman going out into the middle of the ocean with your dog or with Twig. Like, that's not very smart. So it's like a really pretty day. And the woodman is like, this sucks because the sea ghosts don't show up, or the Drogans don't show up unless it's a stormy night. So fitting with the nautical theme of seeing ghosts during the storms and all that stuff. So Hilda spots a wind spirit or a weather spirit, and she starts an argument with the weather spirit. And weather spirits are pretentious, and he gets mad and he starts a rainstorm, starts a storm, and then you see the ship and the Draugen. My thing was like, Hilda should have known something was up. When the ship pops up, they throw down like a ladder for them to climb up. She climbs up first. Mind you, the woodman is out here by himself. I was like, why wouldn't the woodman climb up first? I said, rule number one, girl, he's probably letting you go up first just in case you got beat up or captured so he could roll out. So as we continue, we meet the Drogans and the sea pirates. They have a captain. It's a girl. And they seem cool. And then there's Nicholas. I like Nicholas. Nicholas is a little neurotic ghost who is obsessed with rules. Like, he cares too much about rules and he cares too much about superstition. And you can tell that like all the other ghosts probably get mad annoyed with him. So as she's talking to the as Hilda is talking to the ghosts, the ghosts are like, we don't want to leave. We like roaming the sea. So then she's confused, like, why? Like, but the woodman said, we're here to help you. And then all of a sudden you see the woodman come up and like one of the ghosts is like holding him by his leg. And he tried to steal their like coral sextant to put in their house, like to put in his house. So he was only looking for them so he could put the sextant in his house, which is, the Saxon is basically like a telescope. I think it helps determine like how far you are away from something. I'll Google it and put it in the video of explaining what it is. But I know it looks like a telescope with like like one of those things you used in like geometry to help you like map out shapes or something. I don't know. And so because he decided to steal from them, the punishment was turning them into sea ghosts. And so Hilda's like, I thought you said you wanted to help them. And the woodman said, right, he said, girl, I never said I wanted to help them. You just assumed. And I was like, yes, Hilda, you assumed he wanted to help. I said, this is the same woodman that lost you in a bet on purpose so he could steal from a giant. Why would you think he trying to help people? So Nicholas being neurotic and being like a butthole, and like I said, I like Nicholas. He lets the cat out of the bag that, because Hilda's like, isn't there something we can do to stop this? And Nicholas is like, and you can tell everyone's annoyed because the captain is like, Nicholas, don't say nothing. And Nicholas is like, I got to. So Nicholas like, well, basically, if you go on a race, then whoever wins the race can, whoever gets to the shore wins the race. So basically, they hoist up their sails, they're about to race, and then all of a sudden the race starts. Well, the ghosts decide to cheat, and they begin to fly. The ship begins to fly ahead of them, like above them and ahead of them. Then you see the same wind spirit that Hilda pissed off to make him like rain. She ends up talking to him, and like I said, she's smart but naive at the same time, because then we all know wind spirits are pretentious beings. If you don't know, they're pompous and pretentious, and they think very highly of themselves. And Hilda was like, apologizes and said, well, why don't you tell us more about your species? So he talks so much that he creates a beautiful sunny day, and he blows them like past the sea ghosts. So they make it to shore, and she's like, we won, we're good, but the ghosts aren't stopping. So they're running through town, and you just see this ghost ship going through the streets, leaving all types of ghost slime and everywhere. And one of the guys, like Nicholas even says, he's like, oh my gosh, we're not supposed to be in Trollberg. Like, that's not where we're supposed to be. And like, he's freaking out. And like Abigail, well, not Abigail, but Abigail is the name of the captain. And she's like, girl, like she's like telling Nicholas like, bro, chill. And Hilda's like, why are they still chasing us? Come to find out, the woodman stole back the Saxton. So she's like, Hilda's like, yo, like why? So as Hilda hears them say like, oh, they're not supposed to be in Trollberg, I guess it hits her like I said, Hilda's smart, an epiphany, like, oh, okay. So she runs home. Woodman twig, and Hilda's mom is like, what are you doing home? And she's like, I can't talk now, I love you, bye. And she grabs like the ghost summoning stick, and they run out. And as she's standing there, she's like, why are you running? You see the ghost ship come through their apartment, and then their mom is covered in sludge, and she yells Hilda like, oh my god, like, girl, what have you gotten yourself into? So Hilda runs all the way to the cemetery, and she does the little chant, and she wakes up all the ghosts. And as they're standing there, it's like the sea ghosts versus the land ghosts. And then everyone starts to like look at each other, and then all the sea ghosts and the land ghosts end up embracing each other. And what you end up realizing is that most of the people, well, everybody on the actual boat was from Trollberg. And Hilda got the idea of like, well, you said they never get to see their family. And we end up finding out, like I said, that the captain's name is Abigail, because one of the ghosts, or like the head ghost in charge that we saw last season, he pops up and he's like, Abigail. It turns out he is Abigail's dad. And Abigail and her crew have been missing for 300 years. So it was cute. Like, it ended with like them embracing. The sea ghosts end up deciding to stay on land and spending the rest of their ghostly lives with their families. And then we see Eric, because Eric sees the ship, because people are complaining about the ship roaming through the city. And Hilda runs up because Eric's taking credit of it, because after the ghosts decide to stay on land, the ship actually vanishes. And Eric is like, oh, don't worry, everybody, I took care of it. And Hilda's like, no, I did it. And she doesn't really have proof that she was the one that saved everybody, but she tries to like make a false effort in being like, hey, y'all really want to know what Eric is about, but not realizing she didn't get no dirt on Eric. Like, she didn't get any dirt on Eric. So she gets embarrassed. She's walking away, and then we see a rat picks up the cod sandwich that she dropped out of her bag, and we get to the wood, like, and the rat actually takes it to the sewer that is like, there's an entrance to the sewer in the actual cemetery. And Hilda's like, rat man, you got your sandwich, give me some dirt. And the rat man's like, bro, I tried. Like, we scoured for dirt on this man, and there is nothing on him. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to tell you, girl, but he clean as a whistle. And she was like, so I guess I'm gonna have to find my own way to get dirt on him. And he was like, and the Rat King was like, pretty much, girl, I can't do nothing for you. So it ends right there. And so the woodman leaves, like, vanishes. But I guess now we're trying to figure out, what is it about Eric that like makes him want to take down all these creatures. So that's it. I'm glad you stopped by. Like, comment, subscribe, join the conversation below. And always remember, be bravely authentic. Because there ain't no purpose of being somebody else. That's just facts on facts. Have a nice day.